States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. Board meetings are generally held on the third Tuesday of the month. The Board of Education is a body of school district residents elected by the community in charge of conducting school-related business. The meetings are conducted under the open meeting law, but are not open forums for the community. With that being said, visitors to these meetings are to conduct themselves properly and with respect to any other individuals at the meeting. The Board of Education reserves the right to remove any individual for improper display of behavior or inappropriate language. The Board of Education will have a period of time devoted to visitors' requests following any board presentations and the approval of minutes shortly after the opening of the meeting. Individuals wishing to address the board will be permitted to speak up to 3 minutes. A total of 30 minutes may be allowed for public comment. If there are visitor requests at that time, we'll go over a couple more of the ground rules for there when we get there. So with that being said, Carla, could we do roll call, please?
Aiden Warner, Mr. Hyde, Mrs. Thompson. Here. Mr. Lamb.
Here.
Mrs. Junker Davis.
Present.
Mr. Stabell.
Here.
Mr. Grove.
Here.
Mr. Zila.
Here.
Okay, part of this meeting is budget hearing, and Christine, you are up, please.
I am up. Okay, so tonight we're gonna do our final presentation on our 2023-2024 budget as part of the budget hearing. Hopefully everyone can get out and vote next week on the budget. Our proposed budget, I know many of you on the board have seen all of this, but in the community, our proposed budget is 2023-24 is $24,094,600, which is an increase of 2.14% or $504,994. We're able to do that and still keep the tax levy flat to what we did last year, so we have a 0% increase this year. This is a breakdown, a visual of our budget in the 3-part format, broken out between program, which is 62% of our budget, which is predominantly the biggest portion, our instruction and transportation. Then there's capital and administrative. Here's a little more descriptive description about all of those components. The administrative components is 13.9%, provides for general support and management activities. Program again, almost 62%, providing funding for instruction and educational support services, transportation, special ed. And our capital component is for maintaining the 2 schools, and that's 24%. This is a little different look at our proposed expenditures based on category of salaries and benefits, debt service and BOCES. Those are the largest portion of our budget. Our salaries are going up 4.82%, benefits 2.95%. Debt service is going down because we're doing this fiscal year in 22-23 we had a principal reduction payment on one of our bands. We are now closing on that band this year, so that was the extra principal payment, and we utilized debt service reserve to pay for that. Next year we won't have that, so that's why that's going down. And also another significant item transfer to capital. We this year had $100,000 that we transferred for our capital outlay project. Next year we have $450,000 because we're adding $350,000 for the a playground at the elementary school. Again, partially made possible by the reduction in the debt service payment. We also have another revenue stream coming in this year that's new, and I'll explain that shortly. But so that went up. Obviously it looks like a significant amount, but we're able to fund that, and we're happy to be able to do that. It was something that we were hoping to get in the capital project this time around, and it didn't happen, so we'd like to get that addressed. On the revenue side, as you can see, this is a nice visual that shows you that the majority of our revenues come from state aid, 67%. 23% is property taxes, and you know, a smaller portion of other revenues. State aid, we showed an increase from prior year of $346,000. The budget, the governor's budget did get approved, we did get those state aid runs. Net overall, I'm down about 45,000 but that's not too bad, and I think that might shake out okay once we get the, final financing for the bond done. Maggie's running numbers and we can make that work, so I'm not worried at all about that. Unclassified revenue, that is up 642. The biggest portion of that increase is that, education contribution agreement from, Plug Power. This is the first year that that's on. Again, that's one of the revenue sources that I was saying was helpful in our ability to be able to, pay for the playground at the elementary school. And again, you'll notice at the bottom, the use of reserves, that was that $521,610 from this year. We're not using that next year. That was in a debt service reserve that we used for that, principal payment on the ban. Our tax levy, the allowable tax levy increase is 3.9%. That's that extremely complicated calculation that you add things in and subtract things out. It's not a flat 2%. I know everyone hears the 2%, but our allowable levy with all the exclusions calculated in and out is 3.9%, but we're proposing a tax levy increase of 0%. And there is our historical tax levy. In blue is the allowable that we were allowed to go to, yellow is what we have gone to, and as you can see, we've always been below our cap for the tax levy. I think, I apologize, I didn't put this on the screen. I think our average was 0.89% over the last, since the implementation of the tax cap legislation in 12-13. So, you know, we're doing good here at Oakfield. Projected tax rate, sorry, I don't have an update for you guys. The assessments aren't out, weren't due back until the 1st of May. I can probably update this for you at a later time, but I didn't have that and didn't have the information to run the numbers. I do know that there were some reassessments in some towns. I know Alabama's equalization rate, which again comes down from the state, that they do have some of those. They're at 100%, Alba's at 100%, and Oakfield's at 100% through reassessments, but Batavia's still at 97, Pembroke's at 87, and I don't have the number for Barry. But as you notice, the tax levy is, you know, the school district's in control of one piece of that triangle, the tax levy. There's two other things that are out of our control, so when you see your tax that go into calculating that tax rate, so the assessed value of your home is a factor, the equalization rate from the state is a factor. So both of those things are still moving targets that we can't really pin down at this point in time. 23-24 budget highlights. Our capital outlay project this year, the plan is to do the HVAC work at the high school, in the fitness center, that again, a piece of something that didn't happen in the capital project that we just couldn't make happen. So we have a little extra money left in the capital project, and we're gonna combine it with this $100,000 capital outlay project to be able to accomplish that fitness center HVAC work. With that, we also, if there's a little extra cash at the end, we're gonna use it to do replace carpeting in a couple of classrooms in the high school. We did budget for 2 full-size passenger buses in the 23-24 school year, and that's $350,000, and that is aided in subsequent years at 90% in state aid. So we'll see that next year. Oh, well, actually it's amortized over 5 years. Again, highlight is the elementary school playground. Those committee meetings have already started. We have some design plans in place. It looks like we're gonna be right at that budget with all expenditures. So hopefully we can stay there within that. In 23-24, our school psychologists were increasing to 1.0 full-time equivalent versus a 0.7 at this point in time. Security project, we also incorporated a lockdown integration system, additional lockdown buttons, additional cameras, and a license plate reader on the campus. That is also partially funded through state aid in subsequent years. It's about $104,000 worth of work that will get done for about $34,000 after aid. Another significant thing in our budget, if you notice that one revenue line was $642,000, I mentioned $350 was from the ECA with Plug Power, but another portion of that revenue is tuition generated from our 611 program at the elementary school. We started that this year. We have 5 kids in it. Next year we're gonna have 6, and we also have, we just recently found out we'll have the 6, and we'll also now probably have 3 in our 1211 program. So this budget that's being presented to you is representative of those 5 of those slots being filled, but now we know that there's gonna be more, so. Again, I mentioned the first year of the Plug Power ECA, and obviously we're gonna be continuing the social emotional learning supports through partnerships with JACASA, Rachel's Challenge, Genesee County Mental Health, and our in-house social worker. District reserves, this was as of July 1st, 2022. Our unassigned fund balance is just that purple line, that's that 4% everybody always hears that districts, you know, have to maintain, that they can maintain an unassigned fund balance. Restricted fund balance is our reserves, that's the red, and that's, you know, that's the one that I really like us to focus on, making sure, we just started, let's see, it was the year 6, let's see, you'll see a downward, between 2020 and 2021 went down a little bit. That was due to the capital project, but we're trying to build that back up for our next capital project. Budget information is online. The website is updated with our latest budget newsletter. We'll keep updating it with anything additional that's relevant, but if anybody has any questions, obviously they can, you know, email us in the offices, but you can get that information online. Next week is the budget vote from 11 to 8 a.m. right here in the community room. You're voting on the proposition for the school district budget for 23-24 for $24,094,600. There's 4 candidates for 3 open board seats: Kyle O'Connor, Jackie Younger-Davis, Pete Zealiff, and Natalie Emerson. And new for the 23-24 vote, you're gonna see when you come in here, we have a voting machine this year. We went with this for several reasons, but predominantly efficient results reporting, security features with physical access controls, system access controls, and audit logs, so everything that happens in the machine is tracked. Improved post-election audit process, so if you need to go back and look at anything, you have printouts, you have reports, and the company we used for this was Election Systems and Softwares. They do about 50%, they have about 50% of the market across the country. Also on the budget that you're gonna see this year is Proposition 2, is for the establishment of the Haxton Memorial Library as they transition to a school district public library. Basically what that is, the school district is just pretty much a vessel for them to be able to vote, to get themselves established, to put their budget out for vote, and also the election of their trustees. So you're gonna see that on the ballot as well. You might question, what is a school district public library? One key thing I wanna make a point of is the libraries, they're separate legal entities from the school district. They have their own funding, their own budgets. It's strictly a method for us to be able to collect for them, and then we turn around and pass those funds over to them.
So there's a collection, and that's what we are, but
that's
there
pretty much
is
it.
no connection.
Right.
And that's my slogan that we're pushing out here, that we
Collection,
need
no connection.
collection, but no connection.
Right.
And that's the big important thing. We are not, as a board, going to start choosing library books down at the Haxton Library. Totally separate entity, and they're doing it for funding purposes, and with nothing to do with,
Correct.
curriculum.
Us or the school budget, they have a separate budget.
Correct. Okay, and then the only time that that shows up on our, as a proposition on our budget in future years would be when there's a change in their budget, or they need to have trustees elected, so, okay? And again, there's more information on I have information on our site with a link to the Haxton Library. You can go on that link and go to their site and get a lot of information, and I'm sure that Justin would be happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, sure.
And that is it. Does anybody have any questions? I know you guys are probably, you've heard it all the last several months and getting us to this point, so I appreciate your support.
I think we appreciate your diligence and your ability to package this information in a way that we can understand. Thank you, Kristen,
You're welcome.
for all your hard work.
Thank you.
That being said, we're gonna move on to other presentations, and I think our first up is the representative or the president from the Genesee Valley Wind Ensemble. And,
Where do we go? Can you stand here? Oh,
Stand front and center.
and Phil, help me with your last name.
Oh, Briatico.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
Makes sense, right?
I wouldn't have, yeah, it does now that you said it. Very catchy.
So my name's Philip Briatico. This is Christina Gilbert. I'm the president, she's the vice president of the Genesee Valley Wind Ensemble. That is a local, community-based organization that uses the facilities here. And we're presenting you guys with an award this evening. But before we do that, I just want to tell you a little bit more about the group. So, again, the Wind Ensemble is a community-based group with a variety of music performers, such as professionals, retired professionals, music teachers, educators, amateur players, and talented high school students. We have teachers and students participating in the group from Oakfield and from around the Genesee region, and the group is similar to a concert band. We are 501c3 non-for-profit and have New York State tax-exempt status and are governed by a board. The Genesee Wind Ensemble's purpose is to serve and provide the greater Genesee Valley audience with new and live familiar music, to serve and provide its membership an opportunity to perform challenging wind ensemble literature, and to provide an opportunity for the musicians and the conductor to grow their collective talents. Our group's been around since 2014. We've been all around the county. In this time, we've had 14 concerts in over 9 years. We've had one online chamber ensemble concert and one concert at Seymour Place as well. We actually did some recording for the online concert in the band room and in the library as well. And you can actually go and listen to that if you'd like. It really showcases your band room and the library as well. And then also we had a concert this past fall, or it ended up being in January, and that's online as well if you want to hear some of our music. We've had Go Art grants for the past 5 years. Our membership is 42 strong. We've hosted member conductors from around the area, Mike Comatico, Catherine Robinson, Dan Kunzar, and Rachel Clark. Those are all music teachers and people from the area. And our Oakfield-Alabama participants include your own Kristen Fluette, your general music teacher, Michael Gould, student here, and an alumnus and member, Christina Gilbert. Now, Christina's going to tell you a little bit about this award we're going to present to you, and how, with just your philosophy and how you welcome your community in, you qualify yourselves.
Yes. So the Community Champion Award is given to recognize a school district in the county which demonstrates a commitment to the community through their actions and philosophy. This school district, OA, has supported our local organization by making their facilities available to us. Through the entire process of putting our event together, this school district was absolutely phenomenal. The use of your forms online were just amazing. We didn't really have to do a lot of searching. We thank you so much for that. We've had quite a bit of difficulty in some school districts trying to manage that.
Varied experiences.
Yes, varied experiences.
There we go.
Yeah, the website is fantastic and we really appreciate that. The responsiveness to our requests and to emails going back and forth has been quick and prompt and friendly. We have had emails back and forth. Phil's in charge of them. He clues me in on them and I get terribly lost, but, I just appreciate the fact that you guys take communication with outside or organizations seriously and keep to your word. It's so important to us and we appreciate that. The rates for OA, it's awesome.
Can't
Free,
beat 'em.
you can't beat them. We appreciate that as a organization that, you know, we raise our funds through, outside, entities, whether, banks and businesses outside. We appreciate the fact that we were able to come to OA and it was free to us and we could use the library, the band room, the auditorium, the cafeteria. We were here on a Friday night to set up and then we came in on Sunday. And what was also a little glitch was we were supposed to be in November and OA was fantastic at letting us reschedule that for January. We play Christmas music in January, so. But it was a great performance and we thank you so much for allowing that. We had such a great experience here. All the players really enjoyed the stage. Sound and lighting is huge when you're on stage and you're trying to look out and see what's going on, trying to see your conductor. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys are willing and able to work with us and that it's clean and that we are able to use the stuff in the band room. Roger Bolton has been fantastic about that. We wheel it in, we take it back. No questions, he's been really great. He reached out to me a couple times just to make sure when we were having rehearsals and he was just fantastic. So we can't thank you enough. We have absolutely enjoyed our time here and we hope that we can do it again. So we'd like to present you with this award, making it possible for us to hold our concerts here. And this is the Oakfield-Alabama Central and Community for their sustained support and of our organization. The Genesee Valley Wood Ensemble.
Community Champion Award, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Where do we put this?
You
Come up
can
here.
get to.
You're just shot.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Board president.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's very kind.
Oh, it's
great.
so kind of you. Are you good at the camera? No. Or our camera too, actually.
I will make sure you get it. Oh, you
Oh,
want to do it?
sure,
here?
that's all right, either one. We'll see which one turns out better.
Right?
One that I'm not proud of.
I take like 3 or 4, so we'll get a good one.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. All right.
No, thank you.
No,
Yeah, this
thanks.
is
Welcome.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great.
I hope you continue.
Huh?
Yeah, I think so. It's great to get this
I
one
know.
out with Brad.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. Yeah. And then just for a plug, when's your next concert?
Oh, November 19th, it's a Sunday.
It's always before Thanksgiving.
We'll try to contribute this.
Yeah.
That would be great. Or we
Hopefully
can
not.
somebody
Yes,
get in our
please reach out to us
newsletter.
again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we will. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that would be great. Well, listen, take care. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. This is wonderful. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Yes, have a great rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Hey, more presentations tonight, and there's 2 groups here. And we have Math Olympiad and Page Turners up here. Is this going to be a joint presentation, or are we separating? What would you guys like to do tonight?
We are separate tonight.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. You want to associate?
Math, reading.
Way different. Yeah, all right, so who's going first?
We have page turners up
Page
first.
turners tonight because they're first on the agenda. That would make sense. Because page turners, thank you, John, and Vice Superintendent.
It's also up on the screen.
Yes, yeah, I love your observation skills are intact.
They're a little nervous. They've got this though. They'll be introducing themselves.
Hi, I'm Aubrey. I've been in Page Turners since 3rd grade. Page Turners are students in grades 3 through 5. We have a love of reading. We read assigned books. There are up to 12 per competition. Some may call us bookworm.
Hi, I'm Lucas.
And I'm Adelie.
This was our first year in Page Turners. We worked extremely hard to build our minds by reading. We individually read at least 5 books to make it into competitions. There are 2 teams, A team and B team. We also have alternates. Teams are based on how many books we have read.
Another part of our job is to write comprehension questions for each book we read to practice for our competitions. Also, we get to enjoy the books that are provided.
And this is just some examples of the books that we practice for.
We submit all of our work on Google Classroom. We read the books we are assigned and then make questions for them. We use our questions for practice, but they are also submitted for use in competition. At competition, each team has 6 members. This is judged from GLAT. Ask us questions from all of the weeks. We are awarded 1 point for every right answer. School with the highest number of points between both competitions heads to the regional competition.
We meet as a group Mondays after school. We have 2 competitions during the year, one in late fall and one in early spring. We compete against the following schools: Elba, Alexander, Pembroke, and Lockport.
Spectators can attend and watch us compete. This year we finished third overall in the North Division.
And that's it.
Hold on, you please. Get back out here. Listen, I'm gonna make you sweat for a second. All right, favorite book. What was your favorite book this year? I saw a whole bunch. Indian Paintbrush was up there. My eyes are getting bad on me, and I don't get. What was your favorite?
The third mushroom.
The third mushroom? Is it better than the second one? We'll talk about that later, Lucas, right? So you like the third mushroom? What other, like you had to read 5. The third mushroom was the favorite out of everybody's? Really?
Or no, mine.
Okay, and then how about you, Annalie? What was your?
The Legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors.
The Legend of Rock, Now, obviously fiction, right? So you like a good chapter book? Is it graphic novel or it's all works, huh? That's even harder. A picture book. Oh, it is. So who's the team to beat other than Oakfield? Like out there? Pembroke has been tough, and Alexander's been tough the last couple of years.
Pembroke, Alexander, and Lockport.
And what do you think about your coaches? How do they do?
Good.
Yeah, really? Like 3 stars, 5 stars? 5 stars, all right, yeah. I love it. Are you guys gonna do this again? And even like when you go to middle school? I hope so. Well, you guys did a wonderful job. It's not easy to get up there and speak. And thank you so much for spending your night with us at the board. Keep reading, okay? Please do that. So we're gonna give you guys another round of applause. We've got National Olympia people next year.
I'm Connor, and I'm in 5th grade. We are in National Olympiads. Please enjoy our presentation.
So this is a list of our members that we have. So you can see that we have grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6. So the past 2 years, we've been able to have 6th graders come down and participate in Math Olympiads because in the past they had already been in our building. So we have a lot of participation.
Bring your best math mind and be open to other people's way of solving. Get ready and maintain focus for the whole time we are here. Some problems may be difficult, and that is okay. We learn from each other and want to listen to all ideas. We will show strategies to solving the problem sets during practices. We promote each other's thinking.
We will have 5 competitions between November and March. Math members can earn up to 5 points per each competition. At the end of the season, points earned are total in ranked amount of participants across the state.
So this is a little different than Page Turners. Page Turners actually goes and competes live, and you can watch them compete. We compete 5 times a year, but it's just we say after school, we have a competition paper with 5 questions, so they can earn up to 5 points each competition. But we're ranked against other people in the state. So you'll see in a little bit how we rank individually, and then at the end of our season, we do get awards to see how we compare to our national level. So you guys are gonna share out your experiences, okay?
Math questions are hard, but I like that they challenge us. Math fun games is so fun.
The math is harder than you actually think it is. Like you get 6th grade questions each competition, and then at the end of the year you celebrate it by, this year we watched Mary Poppins and had Sundays.
These are our top scorers in 6th grade. So our top scorers in 6th grade were Hudson George, Edwin Kramer, Alice Santee, and Emma Thompson. And in 5th grade, our top scorers were Gatlin Zealand, Connor Birchall, and Lucas Bach. And
Does anyone else want to share about what they liked this stuff? Go ahead, Madison, and then just turn to face them, okay? Because we know what you liked.
I liked how the questions were ahead. And I remember Miss Crawford at the beginning of every competition telling us to take a time on the 5th question because it was always the easiest.
Yeah, so I'll show you one. No, okay. So we decided that we would kind of challenge you guys as a board to at least one question that they've been asked.
I picked the first one, the easiest one. No big deal.
So our competition takes 30 minutes as usual. So there's 5 questions that they have to complete in 30 minutes.
Listen, I'm a grumpy soul
Nate,
before.
I
I
can't
don't
understand.
I got nothing.
Thank you, sir. Which one are we gonna, the easy ones, right? Is it Madison?
Number 1,
Yeah.
question number 5, Matt.
I get number 5.
You get number 5, I'll take number 1.
No, they said to do the first one. They said to do the first one. No, do the first one.
You guys, facilitate. Cheating.
Oh, this is a group effort?
Do you guys have the answers?
Yes.
All right, come on over. Did I get the first one right? Yay, I'm done. Should I try it? What's next? What is the hardest one you guys think on this one? Have you guys done this one?
They have. So usually the 5th question is our hardest, which I
The 5th one?
Yeah.
Wait, Miss Crawford.
They weren't showing their work.
Oh, Maria, I gave you time to study.
I know you did, I should have had this already. I should have had Emma do it for me.
I beat you, Jen.
Yeah. Really?
Didn't bat an eye.
What'd you get? The first one, man?
I got the first one.
Oh,
I did 1B.
Oh, you did that, you did the back.
I didn't, I appreciate all that you do. I think you guys are fantastic. But, I don't wanna take away from you by doing this.
Did I get 1B right? Can someone check my answer there? See if the old man still has it? That's right.
you got it?
Still got it.
Math guys got it.
I thought you'd be thinking like this at a board meeting, right?
Oh, You get yourself back. That's kind of you. And then sing a nursery rhyme on your
You got
girl.
all 5? No, you didn't.
This is the way that we're scored, so the top
You
2%.
didn't get second.
The score will be 23 to 25 points. Top 10% nationally is 19 to 22. So you can see, and Connor kind of talked about that our top scores overall for the team were Alice Santee and Emma Thompson with 19 points. Our second highest score was Sarah Pritchett, who was new to the team this year in 4th grade, so she had 13 points. Our third highest scorer was Lucas Bach and Nate Stabell with 10 points. And then we have the 4th grade top scorers, which Connor didn't have there, were Sarah Pritchett, Tegan Porter, Madison Finn, and Kaden Konechny. Okay. You guys want to ask if you have any questions? Do you guys have any questions for that?
No.
So, yeah, I guess I do, like, what, I can't, no surprise, right? So you get done with school and then you wanna do more math. What does that tell you about the ladies that you're working with? Are they like the best coaches?
Well, I
Like,
can tell you that all of them here were my students in second backpack. Isn't that cool that they come back with us?
isn't that great? That's wonderful. So you guys are super lucky to have people after school, after they're done with their job, waiting for you and wanting to take it further in math, and I think that's great. I talk to my students in Kendall, and they wish they had some of these experiences between page turners and Math Olympiad, and we just don't have that there. And in our school district here, we are so lucky, not only to have the experience, but the quality of experience that's provided by the teachers that are here. So thank you. You know what's even cooler is I'm seeing some familiar faces here that were here, I think, for Lego Week, that were presenting, so, yeah, right, you're getting famous. Start Googling yourself on YouTube, man, you're gonna pop up there. Look out, ladies. I love it. Well, thanks again, guys, and I appreciate it. Keep up the good work with math and reading, and please, another round of applause for the
You guys can go.
Good for you.
Awesome job, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all you, buddy. I was in math after school. Okay, on to the approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the minutes of April 18, 2023, regular meeting be approved. Can I get a motion? Okay, how about a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Carla, visitors requests.
Did not have one.
Visitors requests, okay. Approval of warrants. Be it resolved that after an audit of the bills, payment of the warrants and internal claims, and audit reports be approved. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Treasurer's report. Be it resolved that the treasurer's reports for March 2023 be approved. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Mike?
Need a recount?
Maria, is
Maria.
Maria?
I would-
Okay, any discussion?
Fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, John, we're up for our first reading here with policy 5670.
And 5570. So these, the last board meeting, you had approved 4 policies. We lumped off 2 just because 4 policies in themselves is a lot to comprehend. So these are the final 2 that are part of that uniform grant guidance document that basically we had to update per our application and the auditor's response. So 5670 basically is regarding records management. The last time this policy was updated was 2006. So if you can think about 17 years ago, everything now is electric or electronic, and so basically this policy encompasses not only the policy from 2006, but just updates it to include electronic records, which the old one did not. Policy 5570, the second one, again, did not address financial accountability. So we are just adding this section per our board policy services and the requirement for this policy. It's just an addendum, it's just an addition to our existing policy, which again hasn't been updated since 2006. Nothing earth-shattering here. It's just about the financial accountability and again, just required per our latest audit in that grant application. And as far as the financial accountability goes, we've added that in red. It just talks about, you know, our code of ethics address conflict of interest. The board has established required policies and procedures concerning district operations, that the internal controls are in place, that we meet our goals and objectives of the district. Just a lot of, auditing language that's needed that didn't exist in our prior policy 17 years ago.
So the long-term financial plan for capital projects and operating expenses? E.
I'm sorry, Matt?
Is there a number on here?
It's E, in the red, it'd be the second E, I guess it's not
So
really.
your
E.
five,
Under
yeah,
the district's governance and control.
right, your five-year capital project plan is your building condition survey. That comes out. The financial plan for the operating expenses, while we don't really have a formal document, we have our reserve plan that, we document once a year. It wouldn't be very difficult for me to put together, and I don't think it's a bad idea, to have a 3 to 5 year plan. This next year, we are implementing some software, that will make that very easy for us to do some forecasting and presenting. But I think when we did our budget, workshops, we dove into that type of stuff more, but we really don't, have a formal document that we adopt. So it's a good catch.
Is this right from Area 1 Planning Services?
Yes.
The way it's worded?
Correct.
Go ahead, Matt, what do you got?
I just wondered if Maria wanted to be on the Records Advisory Board, or she declined the nomination.
Yes.
Right?
I'm still
Well,
on
that's-
problem one on math Olympiads.
It just seems like the documentation of protocols and procedures,
Right.
and that it's just based on the audit that we have to have in place to ensure that we're following.
And it cleans up. There are some things on here that we in the future need to implement. Like Christine said, do we officially have an audit committee?
The board is a whole services staff.
The board is correct. Do we feel it necessary to have a separate committee to do that? That's really up to you. We do have tons of controls and internal, our own internal governance and all of this, but, it's, again, something that's needed that we can implement.
And in many smaller districts, they don't have a separate audit committee. Their board functions as the audit committee. So for example, in the fall, when you have, Mango Metzger comes out and presents the financials at your board meeting, that's what your audit committee would be doing, is receiving that and making recommendations based on that.
Well, I feel
So
like
you're
when
asking
we
us
first came on, didn't we discuss having an audit, wasn't that a conversation that we had? It was brief.
We used to do those meetings at 5:30 prior to the general meeting, the
Sure.
audit committee, it would be the whole board, and we would hear the results of the audit and, the district's response. That was some-
But you all came anyways?
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
four of you,
5:30
if you have a quorum, then, it's not, you have to have less than a quorum at that meeting. So,
We just do it up front and you hear it right in the
Right.
board meeting, so, I mean,
Right.
we have
right,
nothing to hide.
and it's
so-
not uncommon, it's not
Right.
uncommon for the full board to act as the audit committee for a district, so,
Seems to make
you have a
sense.
committee, it's just all of you.
Right, it would be redundant almost. Like,
Almost.
And not as
Well, because-
transparent as doing it in an open forum,
Right,
which I would prefer.
right.
So-
We would all prefer, I don't mean to speak for everybody.
So K talks about if a staff member was to take leave,
Yeah.
they can actually schedule transactions to occur electronically prior to taking leave. Can you talk a little bit about K?
So, let me read it a little.
I don't know what the electronic transactions would actually be?
So the only banking transactions that anyone can do that are outside of between transferring within district accounts, the only transactions that can go out have to be released by a second person. So say, for example, next month we have a bond payment and say I'm not gonna be here, or John's not gonna be here, or Jenna wouldn't be here. We could get it scheduled, I could release it and it would happen, still happen on time. So if you don't have that language, does that?
Make sure, yeah, the financials of the school district don't stop if Christine says I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks.
Right, that
There's
makes
stuff,
sense.
there's people in district office that can, you know, assist
We're
them
not talking.
and
Everyone
get the
might fall
paychecks out.
over if I was going away
Right.
for 2 weeks, but yeah.
Right,
Right, so you can pre-authorize that prior to taking a leave.
correct.
That makes
It's
sense.
the context, right? I'm thinking more of a teacher or
Right.
a custodial staff or something like
No,
that. What
no,
kind of-
it's district,
what
it makes
kind
sure
of-
the financials of the
Yeah, it's
school.
like, what kind of,
If Christine takes leave, I'm sure the teachers still wanna get paid.
Right.
I would say,
People
yeah,
wanna get
that's-
paid that Friday, we'll make it happen.
yeah,
Right.
okay.
So really what this is referring to, so in the uniform grant guidance, they just wanna make sure that you have the internal controls in place to manage, that everything's gonna function properly, you have the tracking mechanisms, you have the checks and balances in place to make sure that the funds are being properly spent, and not improperly spent. So,
I don't see a need for a second reading here. I don't know if anybody see this push this down the road. Okay. I'd like to make a motion, vote on, policy 560 and 550. Is that right?
5670.
5670 and,
5570?
good lord, 5670 and 5570, I'm sorry.
So, second.
Second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Christine, I think you said your piece tonight, but if you have more to add,
Well,
now would be the time.
I have one more thing, I do actually have good
Wonderful.
news. I love
Yeah, oh,
having-
yes.
I
yes,
love
you do.
having good news. So our transportation department, we all know is the best transportation department around. We have the best looking bus fleet around. Seriously, everyone mentions it wherever you go. Oh, there's the Oakfield buses, they look fantastic. They're always the best. So, we just got, notification from the New York State Department of Transportation, second year in a row, that we have had 100% passing rate on our DOT inspections. I talked to Josh a little bit more about it. They come out, there's about 45 to 50 inspections that happen a year here. They come out about 2 times a year for each vehicle. That means that they've never had one finding on any bus. And I asked him to go back several years, and he said since 2016, they've had 3 buses that didn't pass on the first round, but as soon as they did the correction to it, they passed. So that's since 2016, 6 years, 3 buses. So, I just wanted to do a shout out to them and how amazing, I mean, we all know how awesome he is, in that department. Josh is a great leader, those employees are rock stars.
You
Can't
got a
say enough
couple of great
positive things
mechanics
about
to keep that going, right?
Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
Chris Thompson and Eric Pangrazio, you know, it really is a amazing feat, in my opinion.
That's great. John? Thanks, Christine.
It's been a long journey. Each board member, you will find in front of you a thank you, a congratulatory plaque from the district for your recognition, for your commitment to the district, regarding your vision with respect to the capital improvement project of 2020. We are wrapping up the final punch list items, and I thought it was appropriate to thank all of you. You've sat on this board at least this year and last year as the same board, and you have navigated a lot, you know, COVID and you know everything that came with it, and just the headaches of doing a capital project in a school district. And from the bottom of my heart and Christine's heart and Jordan's heart and the administrators and I know the teachers, we just want to thank you for your leadership role, your support in all of this, and just a token of the district's appreciation for your leadership. I will tell you that most of you will be hanging on, and we got another project coming right around the corner. So, but as we wrap this one up, we just wanted to give you a token of our appreciation and say thank you. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very kind.
These are really cool.
Yeah. And this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. I want to thank all of our instructional staff for everything that you do each and every day for our students. Your work never goes unnoticed. It's not easy, or everybody would do it. And I do know the PTO sponsored lunch for the elementary yesterday and the middle high school today. And you know, thank goodness that the weather's changing. I think there's a little bit of a you know, nicer, not this dark, deep depression going on. And we're gonna finish out this last month and a half on a high note. But I want to thank all the teachers for everything they do each and every day for our students. So, thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, John. Coordinator of Student Services, Michelle, what do you have for us tonight?
So I've been meeting with Matt, Lynn, JC, looking at programming for next year's number of students and things like that. So our numbers, we have classified 25 students this year, and we have had 14 students move into district. That's UPK through 12th grade. So we're seeing an increase in our numbers and things like that. So just in talking, looking at our numbers, programming for the upcoming school year, we're gonna be posting for a special ed teacher at the 6th grade level, 1211. So I'm excited to bring another teacher on board. You know, just the increase in numbers, I think, is just the aftermath of COVID and things like that. So, you know, I'm excited to have the other person there and for the programming that we have in place for next year.
Thank you, thank you. Connie is not behind you, Mr. Peterson.
She's not here this
She
evening.
is not here this evening. Okay, so that's you next.
Me.
Lynn.
So we're having a lot of fun with the teacher appreciation and staff appreciation Spirit Week right now. We're also seeing a lot of field trips and concerts. I mean, my calendar is jam-packed for everything. The kids are super excited about swimming to the Bison's trip for 5th grade. So we're just having a lot of fun wrapping up the school year right now. PTO is also going to be sponsoring a bounce house for us for field days. So we're just really looking forward to wrapping up our year together.
Getting close.
We're close.
You're getting close. You're
And
under
June's
30
gonna be a
days.
blink because like half my building's on vacation. I feel like they're on this field trip and that field trip, so they're already out.
That's great. Thanks, Lynn. JC.
We had our third district safety meeting today. Things are going well, we're progressing on a lot of the things we've been working on. So we're continuing to move forward and continuing to improve little by little every day.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson.
I have a few things. I'll start with Teacher Appreciation Week, John mentioned, but also tomorrow is National School Nurse Day. So a huge shout out to Kathy Starkweather. She truly is the best at what she does. She knows our kids inside of school. She knows their families outside of school. She's an invaluable link between our school and the community. So shout out for Kathy Starkweather. This building is National School Nurse Day tomorrow. Also wanted to introduce, and I will introduce at our June meeting, our new math teacher who's just starting off her career. She's sort of fresh off her student teaching experience. She'll join us at the June meeting and she'll introduce herself. She's gonna have a fantastic career. She's great. And then curricular work is continuing. That's an ongoing process. So we're meeting tomorrow with members of GB BOCE's school improvement team. They're gonna come in and meet tomorrow with our social studies department chair in the morning, our math department chair in the afternoon. And what we're gonna do is look at all of the individual teacher curricular maps within those departments, literally take pen to paper, provide feedback, kick them back to the teachers as an effort to revise and improve those. And that's taking place tomorrow. And then late in May, we'll have ELA and science do the same.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Let's see here. Mrs. Bergman, any news for us tonight?
No, not really at the moment. We're just plugging along because AP exams are last week and this week, and state testing is now finished, so we are enjoying the field trips and stuff like that in both buildings, just kind of getting past that and gearing up for Regencies in the end of the year.
Thank you, thank you. Mrs. Cesarano, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I am wonderful tonight. Any
I've got
news?
nothing here.
Come on.
I don't have anything.
Nothing? Okay, well, it's good to see you. Hello, Mrs. Skaven. How are you? And then Aiden is not here tonight, and so we'll move on to some new business. Thank you, everyone, for your thoughts. Be it resolved that items 9.2 through 9.5 be approved by a consent agenda. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, communications here. Do we have any communications?
We do not.
Okay, and then the electronic voting, that's just what we spoke about earlier tonight.
Yes, yeah, the machine is over there in the corner. Just a quick update, obviously, district staff, we've been trained on it. We're looking just to provide a nice, simplistic, ballot that people can fill out, and the machine will eat it up, and at 8:01, you get the results immediately and go from there. It was a great investment, easy to run, and obviously we'll be, our budget volunteers that come will oversee it, but should be a nice, easy, simple process. And we have that obviously then for future votes, like our capital project vote that may occur in the fall, and future budget votes, so it'll be great.
Good, thanks, John. Personnel, be it resolved that items 12.2 through 12.9 be approved by consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's see here. 12, 10. Be it resolved that Brittany Kessler be made a permanent employee effective May 21st, 2023. Can I get a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Are you, no,
No,
not Brittany?
No, she's not here, she's not here.
No,
Oh,
that's Beatty.
Oh, you're Fade, well, hello Fady. I think you're coming soon. Yep. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, I'm taking a shot in the dark there. That was my fault. All right, 12:11, be it resolved that Lance Hahn be made a permanent employee effective June 22nd, 2023. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations and thanks, Lance. Now, on to appointment 12.12, School District Deputy Treasurer. Be it resolved that Fady Gonzalez be appointed provisionally to the School District Deputy Treasurer position pending successful passing of the Civil Service Examination. Can I get a recommendation? Or can I get a,
So moved.
thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
We're excited to have her.
Do we have a spot?
We do have a desk right now, but we are ordering furniture, rearranging furniture a little bit in there to make things a little more accommodating, but we have room for her, and we have lots of work lined up already. So we have a plan, she starts next Monday.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah,
You're from the
excited to
Medina
be
area,
here.
it sounds like?
Medina, yep.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It won't be that far of a drive, hopefully.
No,
for
it's
you.
fine. Straight shot.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
12:13, secondary mathematics. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the appointment of Nicole Newer to a 4-year probationary position of secondary mathematics teacher effective August 31st, 2023 and ending August 31st, 2027. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Welcome, Nicole. On to Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the successor contract agreement with the OAAA through June 30th, 2027. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, and I'd like to just, side note, thank you, for working together to come to an agreement, as quickly as you did, so thank you, Christine, John, and Matt, and all of the administrators that are working here at the district. Thank you for what you've, done prior to this moment, and we hope that you will continue to do.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
12:15 is an MOA. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the attached, MOA agreement with Michelle Mallett. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, 12:16, the 2023-2024 fall winter coaching appointments. Be it resolved that based upon the recommendation of the athletic director, the listed employees be granted the corresponding coaching positions for the 2023-2024 school year. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Closing remarks. Maria.
All right. Teacher Appreciation Week, one of my favorite weeks of the year in my professional life and my personal life. So thank you to all of the teachers that are here working hard. It is not an easy job, and trust is not given freely, it is earned. So thank you for taking our babies and loving them and caring for them and nurturing them and teaching them. So thank you from a mom. I appreciate all that you do, and as a board member, thank you for all that you do. I had the privilege of assisting with mock interviews for Mrs. Schlegenoff's leadership class last week. So basically it was a round robin style. There were 3 of us in here doing mock interviews for the leadership class, and just gave them some real life experiences. And the future is definitely bright. We've got some really great kids in that class, some very confident kids. It was really interesting to hear some of their future goals. So great job. That class is incredible, and I hope it's something that we continue to do here at OA and build upon as well. And then again, just a quick shout out to the CSE department. I just can't say enough good things the past few years. Just the additions that we've had in that department, but the overall communication, again, with my mom hat on, having a child that receives services here at the district, just, you know, the intimate setting that you're provided with as a parent when you go into those meetings, and the reports are very reader friendly, and everyone in the room just really cares about your child and making sure that they have all of the accommodations that they need to be successful here. So I can't say thank you enough to that entire department. So
Thanks, Maria. Mr. Lamb?
Budget coming up next week. Thanks for everything that you've done to put that together. Hopefully we have a good turnout from the community. Looks like a good budget, a good responsible budget. Good luck to all the candidates for running for 3 positions. Good to see weather's changing. I got caught in that cold rain on Sunday to get a header for softball. That's why I sound like I do, but weather's changing now, so hopefully the rest of these spring sports will go off well. That's it.
Thanks, Matt. Mr. Zeeler?
It's great to have another presentation from another group, 2 groups in our school, and thanks to the teachers that take the time to, you know, coach our sports teams, but also coach groups like that. You know, it's that the 3rd group in the last 2-3 months that we've had in here, and I think that's really what helps set our district apart from, you know, when you have teachers that care and want to see the kids grow in all different aspects of life, not just sports, but reading and math, and you know, the group that you just had in on, and you know, there's just so many different opportunities for our kids, and I think that's really what we're all about in a way, is just creating any opportunity for our kids that we can in all different walks of life and different directions, so that's great. And thanks for all the budget work, and I think that it is great to, you think about, you know, what costs have gone up in the last 3 years and what we've been able to keep our budget at, you know, to only have a, you know, average of 0.8% increase over however many years, but even just the last couple of years and going into this year to stay at 0%, I think that's great for what costs have done in our area, so, everywhere, I guess, but it's hard to keep costs down. Appreciate you guys' work.
Thanks, Steve. Dan?
Again, thank you to all the teachers and all the support that has gone on and the opportunities that Pete and all have said throughout, not only tonight, but throughout the course of the year and all the other presentations that we've seen. It really shows. And I also got caught up, I think, in the cold and allergies. I don't know which it is, but I'll just thank you, Christine, too, for the budget presentation tonight, but the work going and getting into it. Appreciate the opportunity to be in here and working with all of you, and look forward to see what happens in the future. So, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. I'm not gonna forget tonight, Jackie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Many thanks to the teachers again. Every day, every week, every moment you can get, you think that people that you send your kids out to every day and they come home, so much appreciated. Board members, John, Christine, everybody, you guys have all been putting in a ton of work. I mean, you're up here a lot. We've been up here a lot, a couple of us helping on the negotiations committees, and it's a lot of work, and it's many hours, and I appreciate the devotion and dedication of the people who do that, and it takes a lot of collaboration, a lot of work between everybody, so I really, really appreciate that. The community involvement, it's really nice to see the wind ensemble come here, use our district, use our campus, open swims, lap swims, those are things that are new and coming back, I mean, older, but coming back in to really see our campus be utilized by our community, which is really nice. We have a lot of ties with, again, library, the Goose, a lot of things that really tie in this district with our community, which is really what makes Oakfield, which I love, Oakfield-Alabama. So, and budget vote coming up, hope everybody gets out, hope I get the opportunity to continue to serve. I appreciate everybody's support and time, and look forward to hopefully doing it again. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. Sunday night, our district and our community experienced a loss. Longtime board member Tim Edgerton passed away. Tim was a board member that served from 2005 to 2020. Many of us had the opportunity of serving with him. As a youth, he was a boxer, and a pretty good boxer at that, and I think that mentality followed him throughout the course of his life and any endeavor that he took on. I think there's some things that you can say about him as a board member, is that as far as a fighter, he was really concerned about our students and the experiences that they had, and he wanted to make sure it was a quality experience. Didn't matter if it was in the classroom or the cafeteria. He was always concerned about, are we getting the best that we can? I also think for the teacher, he was a fighter. He was someone that wasn't afraid to have a conversation with the teacher, on or off the record, and did his best to support everyone in between. Our heart goes out to Tim's family, and we wish them their best through this challenging time, and like to thank Tim for all that he has done for this community in the long time that he has served. It's not the easiest of chairs to sit in, and to do it for as long as he did is something to recognize. So with that being said, I'd like to send out our hearts and our minds to Tim and his family. At this point, I'm going to make a motion that the Board of Education will enter into executive session at 7:10. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Have an excellent evening, and happy Mother's Day.